Hi everyone, welcome to the Movieception Show. My name is Fariba, and today's an enormous day because House of the Dragon is back with season 2. It's been about 2 years since season 1 had dropped, and it became such a huge phenomenon. I mean, I know a lot of us were very scared at that time because we're just like, okay, well, after all the disappointment with Game of Thrones, like, how will the spin-off be, or how will this prequel be? Because, like, we don't want to relive the disappointment that we felt with Game of Thrones, but that ended up turning really great. And of course, it just was a mind-blowing event. I was actually there for all the reaction for those, so thank you so much for all of you guys who stuck with me during that time, who even joined my channel during that time, because I mean, it was such an amazing event that we all were living through, just watching the cinema that was House of the Dragon. And of course, after 2 years now, we're finally coming back for season 2. And I mean, it's gonna be even more mind-blowing than ever because we know what happened at the end of season 1. Aegon took the crown from Rhaenyra. The whole misunderstanding about what Alicent heard, the whole feud between Alicent and Rhaenyra, what we saw at the very end of the season 1 finale, where Aemon accidentally kills, or I guess you could say Vhagar accidentally kills Lucerys, and then of course the last image of Rhaenyra and the vengeance that she feels in the moment, knowing that her son another one of her children has been taken away from her. And just, I mean, again, I cannot wait to see what's going to happen, where season 2 is clearly going to be the consequence of what just happened, which is, of course, this war that we knew was going to happen at some point. It was inevitable. And now we're going to see the depths of this war. We're finally getting down into the dances of dragons. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right down into the first episode of House of the Dragon and begin this new chapter for us as we see what's going to happen and brew in this civil war for the Targaryens. Oh, we got a new intro! Oh, we got a new intro. Well, not a new intro, but like opening credits, but oh my god. Oh my god, Black. Team Black all the way!
Sacrifice. It eclipses all things, even blood.
Winterfell!
All must pay its price.
It's Winterfell.
The North owes a great duty to the Seven Kingdoms, one older than any oath. Since the days of the first who served the North, even by mine own kin.
The wall!
The North must stand ready. Winter is coming.
Coming?
Winter's coming!
What is this then that falls from the skies and shivers? It pleases me to think that over a century ago our ancestors treated in this very place. The conqueror and the king in the north.
You at least had the mercy not to threaten me with your dragon.
Ooh, damn. And we're gonna get the Aegon Conquest show soon, I believe.
Landing. I need my men here.
Whilst your men guard against wildlings and weather, the High Towers plan to usurp the throne. If my mother is to defend her claim,
Just as their dragons, the greatest power in the world, refused to cross it. Do you think my ancestors built a 700-foot wall of ice to keep out snow and savages?
what does it keep out?
Death.
Oh, does he not know yet? Oh, he does not know yet. Oh, he does not know yet. Oh. Oh, he does not know yet. That's must die.
We're going to King's Landing,
To what end?
killing Vhagar. I cannot face that hoary old bitch alone. Through my dragon and yours together, we can kill Vhagar and her rider. Make it a son for a son.
Oh, Hammurabi
The
Code.
Queen remains absent.
refusing to believe what I'd been told. It was only when I saw my daughter's mortal remains that I could begin to mourn her. A raven has told Rhaenyra that her son is dead. Then I would pity Aemon. The Queen was wise to recuse her son. She has not acted on the vengeful impulse that others might have.
If you'd have acted when you had the chance, Aegon's line would be extinguished. And Luke would be alive.
That's what a lot of people said. Oh my god.
I had this commission for Prince Lucerys.
I was very sorry to hear about your heir's death. It was the blackest of treacheries.
Mind your post! Keep your focus, men! Stand down!
Do they know? Oh, are they going to get the bad news, or have they? I'm very curious right now. Do they know the news? What does she say?
I'm afraid.
Don't be. They'd be fools to come with Vhagar protecting the city.
Not the dragons. The rats.
The Queen is an enduring mystery. Is she not?
Rats. I've been hearing about blood and cheese this whole time, so is this a forewarning? Is this that hypocritical bitch? And is it Krista? Yeah.
There's a chin in there.
Hypocrites. Hypocrites.
Summer is well and truly through.
After all the crap that they did on Rhaenyra for shit like this. Yes, I will be judgy.
Must learn the ways of the court if he is to rule one day.
The Riverlands.
My letters to Rhaenyra. Has there been any answer?
An apology for her dead son?
None,
Okay, so they
Your
don't.
Grace. Between that and their blockade of the gullet, we must presume that the princess has refused.
His voice to our outreach.
Enough.
In hopes that new terms might be negotiated.
Forget shit.
Once. Would someone please?
Is the
No, not in the least, Your Grace.
because I think he wants a ride,
Your Grace.
A ride.
a pony ride. Wouldn't that be fun, Jaehaerys? Should the Master of Coin be your royal steed?
Oh, he's already a horrible king. That's great.
Very well. No time for amusements, Thailand.
Oh, I forgot. He's a Lannister.
Off you go, Jaehaerys. Good boy.
Supply quickly.
Well, we should have just killed her when we had the chance.
Regrettably, the opportunity for surprise has been lost. And with it, the chance to end this conflict quickly. We must play the board before us.
If we are to break the Sea Snake's blockade, we will need to...
We'll either raise my banner or see his burn. We should fly to Riverrun.
You are the king, Your Grace. You must not put yourself at risk.
And Vhagar is needed here to deter Rhaenyra from attacking, in retribution for the death of her son.
Errors were made in the hours following King Viserys' death. Patience and restraint. I send ravens by the hour. Many and more houses will declare for you in time.
This is exactly
History
what
and
Viserys
precedent
feared.
will come to your side.
The High Tower's controlling everything.
convened, but your handmaiden said that you were indisposed.
What is it you wish to discuss?
They no longer breathe our air. I've chosen your new staff personally.
Wing!
King Aegon. Aegon the Magnanimous, second of his name.
Magnanimous.
King of the Andals and the Rhoynar and the First Men. Lord of the Seven Kingdoms and protector of the realm. Hail King Aegon!
The Magnanimous.
Me too.
Unheard of sheep, your grace, you'll soon find them all at the foot of your throne expecting the same.
They won't know.
When the king speaks, your grace, all hear it.
My army cannot win a war without your weapons. You should continue their making. Our victory depends on the efforts of the small folk.
You have my most sincere gratitude, Your Grace.
I'll hear them.
As we find ourselves standing within a hair's breadth of war, you would wish to be viewed differently.
How?
Otto Hightower was your father's hand, Your Grace.
Can only hope.
Aemon erred, but he is fiercely loyal. He wishes to please.
And Aegon still heeds me, in private at least. But if you undermine my voice, both those boys will grow deaf to it.
Victory now is one of violence.
I know it. But that does not mean it must be wanton.
No.
Asaria?
When last we met, there were two of you.
To Otto Hightower.
As long as he had gold to pay for that.
Who sent you fleeing from King's Landing in such disrepair? Hmm? You.
Blame me because your true enemies are out of reach. My arrangement with the Hand was purely transactional. I held no loyalty to him. Certainly do not now.
And my brother. And came here.
I don't care. Aegon was in your grasp. You should have killed him yourself.
I reckon our names of the King's Guard are just 8 and 10. And we swore the same oath. To defend the whole of the royal family. So what were we to do when they turned against one another?
Did you find what you needed?
Oh my gosh, she looks like Dany when Dany lost her dragons, man.
Your counsel stands at the ready, Your Grace.
I want Aemon Targaryen.
Hammurabi Code.
Lord Crick and Stark has promised 2,000 men.
That's a mother's pain.
Ferris glory.
Never gone for long. I'm told you bear a mislike for the high towers.
Fuck the high towers.
I was also given to understand that you possess a unique knowledge of the Red Keep.
Michael's tunnels. Where with rat's nest it is. I know them better than the shape of my arm, Cooke.
You're to find and slay the Prince Aemon Targaryen. He has silver hair and one eye. Should be easy enough to find. But I understand he's quite good in a fight. You want to take caution.
What if we can't find him? We've wasted precious days in this war of quills and raves.
See that?
Otto fears to upset the order of things. Dallicent is simply angry.
Angry.
She blames me for starting this war, after she plotted with my father's council to usurp his throne. Her grace speaks with two tongues.
He's calling her hypocrisy.
Intoxicated her. It is not your mother's fault.
She holds love for our enemy. That makes her a fool.
But there are many pieces at play here. Some of which you can't yet see. I promise you, Aemon, you will have all the vengeance that you seek, but you must keep a grip on...
Mind me like some helpless duckling.
Oh, but you're the king. Who gives a shit what they say?
My brother at least knows his place. He's as loyal as a hound. I can set him and his dragon on my foes at will.
Fuck off! How dare you?
For the rats. Who the fuck is she?
Helena?
She's the queen, she is.
A son for a son, he said. Or does she look like a fucking son to you?
Over there.
Oh, fuck.
They both look the same. Which one's which?
I have a necklace. It's of great value.
What?
No. She's telling true.
Helena! Oh, there's a lot going on, guys.
What's happened? They killed the boy.
Well, can I just say fuck? I think that's the best way to describe it. Fuck. We are truly in the dances of the dragon because I knew Blood and Cheese was going to happen. I've heard of it for the longest time. I knew it was something that it was going to be a really bloody, violent event that was going to happen, just per the name of blood. And we were hearing, of course, some of the warning signs coming from Helena, because when she mentioned rat, I was like, oh, are we already getting blood and cheese? Like I've been hearing about it. I did not expect it to be like that. Now, even though we don't actually see Jaehaerys's death like right in the moment, just to hear the sound of it, wow, that is it. Like they didn't just simply unalived him. I mean, holy shit. Wow. I mean, that's definitely going to, I mean, just having just seen the previews, of course, this is going to really trigger just the rise of this war. I mean, it's one sense that Rhaenyra is really upset and devastated with Lucerys' death, and now to see Aegon now be this angry, this vengeful about his son's death, right? And then I mean, in a sense, like it doesn't really fit the whole idea of Hammurabi Code, of course, because Hammurabi's code is that you're supposed to be giving the equal amount of punishment to whoever commits that crime. But Jaehaerys did nothing wrong. Aegon, I mean, yes, he did usurp Rhaenyra from her throne, but he was not the one who was responsible for Lucerys' death. I mean, it was Aemon, right? And she clearly wanted Aemon, not Aegon, not Jaehaerys. I mean, this is gonna be pretty, how do I even describe it? This is going to be a very sticky situation, of course. I think that's the best way to describe it. I mean, just having seen the previews, of course, again, like it definitely shows the fact that what Daemon did behind Rhaenyra's back went way too far. Yeah, he was just trying to do what she asked, which is to get Aemon, but not in the way that it could have gone forward. So yeah, lots of sticky situation going on. I mean, again, I had to address blood and cheese right away because, again, I knew what it was about. I just didn't know the details of it because I didn't want to spoil myself about it. And now having seen the scene, it's like, holy shit. And I feel like a lot of people who are like huge Daemon fans are going to be so conflicted about this. Like, I wonder what he really said, like, in the event that they don't find Aemon, like, what would actually happen. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm still for Team Black. This is not going to change my stance on the fact that I'm still with Team Black, because the whole reason for it is the fact that, well, the Greens took away Rhaenyra's rightful heir to the Iron Throne, did so in a way that where they plotted this. And yes, there was that misunderstanding where Alicent thought that he was regarding Aegon like her Aegon, not like Aegon like Rhaenyra's Aegon. But in a sense, I'm still with Team Black. I know it's really weird just having now seen this moment, but this is not going to change my side of it all. Yes, I will pity the Greens a little bit now, just knowing why Aegon's now going to go into a full-fledged war in a way that's going to exceed the violence that we would have anticipated out of this. It's definitely going to escalate big time. So there is a little bit of sympathy in regards to that, but still, this is not going to change my stance. In fact, I'm still Black. I will be Team Black. My pledge is to Team Black. I just did not expect that they were going to do Blood and Cheese so early. Definitely not that early, but now we've seen it, right? So that takes care of that. In terms of just the overall coming back to Game of Thrones, I will say for a fact that at least having seen this first episode, it definitely gave a lot of Game of Thrones vibes. Like, I mean, yeah, season 1, like, yes, there were some elements of Game of Thrones to it, but because of the whole time jumps that, you know, it wasn't as consistent. It didn't take the time to dedicate, you know, the storytelling, because we're always, you know, constantly jumping in time. Whereas this time it's like, okay, we're coming right out of the end of season 1 and we're seeing the consequences of it. We see Rhaenyra is really trying to, you know, like, she's right now trying to find Lucerys and, you know, finally have this closure of, okay, well, here's Lucerys, here's his remains that now prove that he is dead, which is exactly what Rhaenys was saying, like, you know, how she herself had felt, you know, a similar grieving moment when she lost Lena, right? And so we had that. Of course, we start to unravel the fact that some people start to realize about what happened and that moment between Lucerys, Aemon, the deaths, everything, all that sort. So that has been handled. Like, we're finally starting to get a little bit more of that consistency of that storytelling, that dialogue, the depth of it that we got from Game of Thrones, just to see where everyone's mindset is and where they are in the moment, of course, and what this means going forward into the, you know, next few episodes. I believe this season is actually shortened. I think we're only getting 8, which really sucks. But I mean, I can't remember. I think this season was only 8, so, which is really sucky. It's like, man, I thought we learned from Game of Thrones, but as of right now, it doesn't seem so the pacing is gonna be any issue as of yet. Like, everything seemed to progress in a very balanced way so far. Again, having seen the first episode, I hope that remains going forward. I feel like if there's any show that is capable of being able to balance out its pacing and storytelling, it's going to be the Game of Thrones franchise. Again, like, with the whole situation with 7 and 8, it's like, okay, well, that's because they were, you know, they were no longer in the source material and they only had like bits and pieces and outlines. It's like, okay, whatever. But this one's like, we actually have, you know, the Book of Fire and Blood that gives some of the details of some of the events that have happened in Dances with Dragons, as well as some of the creative input into trying to put in between the gaps and fill in the pieces that we don't already know. So, but yeah, having said that, I think that so far, having seen the first episode, things like in terms of the pacing, it's really balanced so far. That we're getting that Game of Thrones vibes that we really love from the original show, which is like great. I hope that remains to be consistent moving into the future episodes, and again, that hopefully doesn't become an issue, knowing the fact that this is only going to be an 8-episode season. And again, that ending, I mean, they had to have some sort of huge closure to this episode just to really get to the rise of this whole war. And yeah, they had to. It was definitely the event of Blood and Cheese, and it's like, okay, well, there's that. Can I also say that Emma D'Arcy just is incredible as Rhaenyra? They have done such an amazing job. I mean, they have, like, I still recall from their moments in season 1 where just the emotions and just understanding who Rhaenyra is and just some of the difficulties she has faced. I mean, just seeing Emma do such an incredible job showcasing that emotionality of Rhaenyra has been absolutely spectacular. They have been very consistent about it. And having seen, again, this episode right here where they are like exuding that emotion, that grief, how Rhaenyra is trying to process that loss that she's had. And again, I mean, we're still in the matter of like just the week or so, maybe a month, just having St. Jaehaerys' hair. So like St. Jaehaerys' hair makes me believe that maybe at least a month has probably passed. But even that being the case, right? Like it is just to see the heartbreak that Rhaenyra is going through and her trying to accept the fact that Luke is definitely dead. It's like, it takes a lot, right? Like that's a mother grieving for that. And for her, it's like, okay, yeah, we had the Hammurabi Code, but of course that didn't work out at the end because of what else had happened. But yeah, we're truly in the Dance of the Dragons. We're seeing dragons. We're seeing this war really starting to brew. We're seeing both sides, their perspectives, where they are at the moment. It's been 2 years since we've had Game of Thrones. Oh, yeah, House of the Dragon. Sorry, House of the Dragon. Or just about anything Game of Thrones, let's be honest. Because we have a lot of other shows, a lot of other prequels coming up. Like, I believe, Aegon Conquest, The Hedge Knight. We have a lot of Game of Thrones coming out. So, but yeah, I mean, lots of things are brewing. We're going to have season 3, of course. That was announced last week. But yeah, what a way to really start season 2 right there. We're officially in the Dances of the Dragons. We're officially in the Targaryen Civil War. Now it's a matter of seeing what's going to happen, what's going to unravel, as we get down into season 2. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Oh wait, no, actually, let's talk about Alicent for a little bit, just because I just remembered Alicent and Kristen. Like, okay, well, hypocrite. Like, wasn't that the whole reason why they had this conflict with Rhaenyra? And now look at them. It's like, okay. Yeah, I don't like them. As you can clearly tell, I just don't like them. And now just seeing what has happened here. I mean, I feel like it was inevitable. I feel like that was going to happen at some point, but it's just like, isn't this the whole reason why you guys started to plot against and start to team up against Rhaenyra, simply for the fact that, you know, one of them decided to, you know, have I guess you could say friendly relationship. I don't know how we can describe it, but just, you know, a very casual, you know, sexual relationship, but nothing more than that. And then, of course, the fact that Alicent, and the fact that, you know, Alicent wasn't happy with the fact that she had sex with, you know, Kriston and yeah, and that's basically what, again, all that crap that Rhaenyra had to deal with season 1. Now we're seeing them. It's like, okay, whatever. But yeah, that's something that I really want to mention, because I was like, I knew I want to talk about this. But yeah, the hypocrisy, her trying to get a little bit more of that voice in her seat, seeing that Aegon's kind of like an idiot who doesn't really know how to really be a king, of course. Otto just being a scheming asshole, manipulator, calculating asshole. Same old Otto, basically seeing, you know, Viserys' greatest fears about why, you know, he didn't want like Aegon or any of them to be, you know, the heir, why he chose Rhaenyra, so on and so forth. Like, there's just a lot of the things that we've seen that, you know, Viserys didn't want to happen ended up happening. So, but yeah. But again, we'll see how things brew with the Targaryen Civil War, now having seen these moments. But yeah, that's all I have to say about episode 1 right here. I think it's really quite a start to season 2 right there. Again, we'll see how things transpire, what's going to happen moving forward. We're going to probably still see a lot more conflicts happening internally in Team Green, Team Black. I'm still Team Black, although what we just saw with Blood and Cheese was absolutely just horrifying to hear. Like that, just they really had to enhance that sound. But yeah, having said that, let me know your thoughts having seen the first episode of Game of Thrones right here. If you were Team Black, has the ending right here changed your stance on who you're going to support? If not, what do you think about having seen Blood and Cheese overall? Just the event of it. What do you think? What do you think this means moving forward? Do you feel like you kind of have a little bit more sympathy towards the Greens now, knowing what has just happened? Having said that, what do you think about Rhaenyra right now? Because, of course, we just went through a whole emotional tale with her in this first episode. What does this mean going forward between Rhaenyra and Daemon? What do you think about, you know, Alicent and Kriston? Because I know that's going to be quite a discussion right there. Otto, Aegon, all the characters that we've seen so far and seeing where they are. What do you think about just the pacing so far from this episode? Do you think it feels more like Game of Thrones, or do you not think that it kind of deviates? I mean, let me know what your thoughts are having seen that first episode overall. Let me know your thoughts below. Make sure to like and subscribe.